Thank you. That was Chopin's C-sharp minor waltz. A lot of people probably know that, their famous one, and the first one I played was the Mozart Sonata in C major. And I'm playing these for you because I have not had much experience playing classical music in concert. I started jazz piano back when I was a choir boy in the Cathedral Boys Choir of St. John the Divine in New York City, while Mike Boone, before I knew him, was in the Harlem Boys Choir. Oh, I need to grab the microphone. And I think that was a great part of our training, was being in choirs that rehearsed. My choir rehearsed every day. I don't know about yours, Mike, but we rehearsed about 3 hours every day and sang a service every day. So it was like about 5.5, 6 hours of singing every day for about 4 years. I was in that choir. And I got to sing some great compositions. We were led by Dr. Alec Whiten, who is a composer and a modern composer. He did modern compositions. And we also did a lot of big events. The Cathedral of St. John the Divine, I don't know if y'all who know it, is the second biggest cathedral in the world, I believe. And so we sang for Duke Ellington's funeral. We did a lot of big events, and we did tours and that kind of thing. And I learned a lot from doing that. At the time, my mom was getting her master's degree from Manhattan School of Music in voice and piano, Mary Holton. And she also was singing at Riverside Church down the block. And my sister was at Professional Children's School, I believe, in Times Square. And she later on went to be in many Broadway musicals and danced with the Garden State Ballet and the New York City Ballet. And now my nephew dances with the American Ballet Theater, Andrew Robert, the junior division of the American Ballet Theater. You guys who've seen my posts have seen that. And then I have two nieces, Susan Robert, who is an au pair in Germany, and then Helen, who does PR for a nonprofit, PR and communications for a nonprofit organization, and she's in Virginia. My sister and her husband, Chris Robert, both live in Winchester, Virginia, and my brother-in-law, there's so much to tell about all my family. It's really remarkable. My brother-in-law did stage sets. That's where he met my sister for Broadway, but he also did designs and sets and was a set, the head of set design for Earth, Wind, and Fire, Bruce Springsteen, Kiss, just to name a few. And my father also got his doctorate from Columbia University in New York City. In administration, and he later on was superintendent of schools in Kennett Square and Norristown. So I was just saying that I was raised basically in New York City, and talking about the Cathedral St. John the Divine, where I was in the boys' choir there, while Mike was in the Harlem Boys' Choir. I'm a little younger than Mike, and I'm so thrilled that Mike Boone came through in this crisis, came through to play, because Mike Boone is as close to my brother as anybody can get. He's like my big brother. I've got some other big brothers, but Mike and I go way, way, way back. And I was talking about my parents and my sister and my nephew at American Ballet Theater. I do want to mention real quick, that was Khadija Renee, Sentimental Me, which you can get on iTunes, I believe. And that was, I was playing piano on that, and I did the arrangements of the standards. And that was Gerald Twigg Smith on guitar, and he did the originals. At the end, I may play a little of that when we're done. We'll go a little bit over 6, since some things happened. On that same album with Khadija Renee, we had Lee Smith on bass, Duck Scott on drums, of the famous Shirley Scott, her son. amazing drummer, and George Bussey on saxophone. I want to give a shout out to Mercer County Community College. Before I forget, I'm wearing the hat. This is our mascot, Mercer County Community College. Hey, Scott Hornick. Hey, Joe Falsey. Hey, Lizzie Raza. She's the secretary that I always say she's like radar in MASH. I say, don't open the school. If she can't come in, don't open the school if Lizzie ain't here. Okay, I'm going to continue now. This is a piece one of my students at Mercer County Community College is working on. His name is Michael Yakubovich. And this is the prelude in E minor, opus 28, number 4, Frédéric Chopin, very famous. I'm working on... I want to use the little glitch that happened there for a minute to talk about what I'm doing. That I'm playing classical pieces. Even more than jazz, I feel that classical is a discipline, and it's why I do it. All my favorite jazz piano players are also accomplished classical musicians. Herbie Hancock was a child prodigy. I don't know if you all know that. Oscar Peterson, famous for playing Mozart. All of them. Chick Corea, Juilliard School of Music. Keith Jarrett, he has classical albums out. Brad Maldau. Could go on and on and on and on. And that was something lacking in my education when I was younger. I didn't have any classical training. And so I started that kind of late. And I want to reach out to Tom Lawton. Hey, Mike. I want to reach out to Tom Lawton and say, hey, Tom Lawton, he was the one who started me on the technique that I now use, that I try to show my piano students, the Dorothy Taubman, Edna Golansky technique, which I recommend highly. Yes, Mike. Oh, Mike's just going to walk through here. He's going to use the restroom. This is very, what is this? Is casual here. This is going to go up on YouTube. I want to remind you, this is going to go up on YouTube, and you'll be able to view it later on. And who knows, maybe I'll do another version that's less glitchy of the two classical pieces I played in the beginning. But with no further ado, I shall play the E minor prelude. You could turn that mic off.